Hello, I am Nicholas DeLuna, and welcome from Zero to Hero. I mean, two. I can speak. Okay, so I'm just going to read this one page, guys, and going to give you the announcement. Okay, so pretty much, I'm just going to read this one page right here on from How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, and then I'm just going to get into a kind of a good news, bad news, and well, I'm going to give you the bad news first, and then I'm going to end it with the good news. Okay? So, hold on a second. Let me just check some things. All right. Okay. So, let's just get this over with. So, from here, we're going to learn the power of perspective. Just as form is all important in the making of an object look real, so is perspective, vitally necessary in making a scene look accurate and making things appear to be correctly placed in the foreground, background, and all the places in between. It isn't an easy subject, but you've got to master it in order to draw a comic strip. We promise to make it simple and as clear as we can. And if it's any consolation, it's just as tough for us to explain as it is for you to learn. So since we're all in this together, let's go. Let me just check something. Okay, and then let me get out to the comments. Okay. Yeah, let me do one thing real quick. Mm, I thought I saved it. Okay. I'm having trouble with the. Oh, here we go. Here, copy link. Okay. So so okay. Basically, let's just get this page out of the way. Study it a while. It's not as complicated as it may sound. Honest. Okay. As usual, we'll study the pics on the page opposite opposite. And this time there are two new words you've got to make part of your conscious and subconscious vocabulary. The word is the words are horizon line. The horizon line. Okay, basically the horizon line simply represents the viewer's eye level, that is the spot in the picture where your own eyes would be if you were there observing the scene. Let's start with some of those examples. Notice the cube on the first line of the drawing A. If you take it and turn it and say that we're looking at it head on, you B head on B, you will see that the two sided lines on the top seem to be coming together. The way train tracks appear to come together as they recede farther into the distance. Okay, then. Mm, until the Okay, then. Let's continue drawing those two lines until they meet C. The point at which they meet is natural horizon line and is consequently our eye level. This is called one point perspective because the perspective lines converge upon one single point. Okay, however, we if we turn the cube and then follow the converging lines to their ultimate meeting place, we get a 2 point perspective, D. Okay, and I'm not going to insult your intelligence by telling you why we've changed its name. Incidentally, you'll know you'll notice that is the cube is below the horizon line and therefore below your eye level. In figure we've merely redrawn on the cube exactly at your eye level, while figure F, what is that? Okay, that's E, that's F. F, we've drawn it the third way, showing how to put it above eye level. Okay, so basically what this is saying is I would be confused if I read that, but I do know what it's saying because I watched some perspective videos. So basically, the horizon line is the line between the it's it's the thing that's between the horizon. Basically, it's the thing that separates the ground, the earth, and the sky, pretty much. So you go outside, well, if you can, unless it's too cold right now. But whenever you go, just remember whenever you go outside and look at a field and notice that there's there's the grass, and then if you look far enough, you notice that there's no more sky or land. You just see, I mean, not sky or land. There's no more ground. There's no more hills. There's no more dirt or grass. It's it ends where the sky meets. You knows that? Like here, let's see. These are mountains in the line that separates the mountains from the earth, the ground, and the sky. That's the horizon line. The horizon line is pretty much, I'm probably over probably being a dead horse at this point, but like you get what I'm saying. Like top part is the sky, the bottom part is the earth, and in the middle, the line between is the horizon line. Okay. In art, you have to there's 1 point perspective, 2 point perspective, 3 point perspective, but we're not getting into 3 point perspective. Let's stick to 1 and 2. So 1 point perspective is like this one right here. It, excuse me. So if there's a horizon line like that, forgive my terrible line. And the 1 point where the point comes in is if you draw a point on the line and try to imagine like it this requires you to understand cubes as well. So there's the cube. See, a cube requires a little perspective, and it's hard to explain on how to see a cube and not a square. You know, I could just give you the steps, but you wouldn't learn necessarily how to like draw a cube, you know, or how to see a cube. You know, you'll be like, oh, it's just a square, another square here, and another square there, and then you basically got a cube. And forgive me for my terrible cube. Um, so pretty much the horizon line. You just gotta. I would draw like a triangle shape. So pretty much, not even a triangle shape, but like let's say you were to draw a box. Let's say in the foreground, right? That's a terrible square for this example. And okay, there's a cube. Let's draw a cube. So there's a cube right there, and make sure it connects with to make it make sense in art. You got to make sure that you can connect these points to the horizon line. So let's see if it does that. Uh, no, it does not. So this is a terrible perspective. So hey, you're learning from the master of terrible art. So just do what I'm not doing. You know, there's a saying in the Bible: do everything that they tell you, but do not do what they do. Do what they say, but don't do what they do. But it, I think it's more talking about the scriptures in the Bible than every situation. But okay, so let's make a triangle. And then let's make the back of the square. Here's a little trick here. And there's the top part of the cube. And then let's draw the front face. Okay, that is better. And you see how I did that? There's a trick. You know, you gotta make sure, uh, draw the, from, draw lines, 2 lines from, if you're drawing a cube, make sure that this line attached to this line, it, make sure each corner leads to, if you draw from, like, let's say this is a point and this is a point, you gotta make sure each point from each corner lines up and makes a straight line towards the horizon line point. All right. So doesn't matter if the point is here or there. Can this reach over there? Well, barely. Probably because I'm drawing a terrible line. Okay. And again, I have a hard time drawing a straight line to save my life. But you get the point. You get the point. No pun intended. Um, so you need to like it doesn't matter where you put the dot on the horizon line, as long as you put the dot somewhere on the horizon line, and the in the cube, the corners, each corner of the 3D object, which is the cube, there's shapes and then there's 3D objects. The 2D, so the shape is like a square, and its 3D object form is the cube. And then there's, the circle, which is the shape, and then there's the 3D object, the sphere. You see what I'm saying? And just make sure each corner, if it has a corner, if it's a sphere, well, I haven't gotten that far yet. So once I find out, I'll tell you. If not, hopefully you can figure out. But pretty much just draw. The trick is draw a horizon line, find a point, and make sure that the cube, the or the any shape that you're making has corners. Draw a dot on each corner that's closest to the horizon line, and make sure that those dots has a straight line trajectory towards the horizon line. Maybe it should be straighter than this. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe this is, I don't know. Like I'm looking at these examples, and the horizon, this is a 2 point perspective. The horizon, so 2 point perspective is if you got two horizons. It's and you got two because something's blocking the middle, and then you got two. You got Here's one horizon, the blocking in the middle. It's blocking the horizon, so it's kind of like making a instead of a unibrow, one unibrow. If you are like, let's say this is a unibrow, and if you slice it in half, it's now two eyebrows. Same thing with the horizon. If you have something blocking the middle, you now got two horizons, 2 points, perspective. So you got you got to make sure that just pick a spot for your point, and stick with it too. I know I showed an example that, it doesn't matter where where you put your point. It kind of matters, kind of doesn't as long as you got one. This is one. If you want 1 point perspective, make sure that you use just one. If I try to follow up like this is kind of a mess now that I'm thinking about it. Um, Maybe I was wrong. Like, maybe it's the center. Put your dot at the center of the horizon line. So So if there's a line like this, just me in the middle and draw your dot there if it's 1 point perspective. Now, you may be asking, well, what about if we're not in a city corner like this? Like, if you look at this, you can imagine a city corner, a corner block, like a building. Like here, this is let's make it here, and then the second point here. Again, my straight lines aren't that great. But I'm going to practice more. Let's put it there. Okay. And then let's get to the other one. It may feel off at first because you're so used to like me. If you're like me, you're so used to like guessing where it should go as far as perspective goes. Like I you saw me at the beginning. I almost made a mistake. Like I thought to make a corner, you do it like this, but it's too high for perspective, and it wasn't going to prove my point. So you think you know perspective, you think you know how to draw things, but in reality, you need a little help. If it was so easy to draw, you wouldn't have so many people struggling how to draw good art. So even though, yeah, people just say just draw it like how you see it, there are some that is true when you get into detail, but you can't just jump into detail. You got to learn your fundamentals first. I'm still learning my fundamentals. Okay, again, that was a terrible line. And I didn't aim that good at the dot. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So let's say this is a building from New York. Windows. This is the best use of 2 point perspective is any city, any village, anywhere where there's civilizations or maybe rocks even, or some trees, maybe a forest. It doesn't have to be a civilized place. Oh, and let's add a door. Door. Yeah, because I do have maybe that one advice I was kind of criticizing is a little true when it comes to details. But I did say when it comes to details, you do gotta eyeball things and make sure that like don't just draw. They tell me all the time that, oh, don't just copy the art. You know, try to like draw it how you see it, and that's where drawing is a little tricky. There is a step by step process at the beginning, but then that brings up the question: how do you know when you can stop doing the step by step process and actually get to what you think or how you see the art? There's a science to it, and then there's a art to it. The science part is knowing your fundamentals, going by the step by steps. It's like a proven ways that work, to make art and drawings make sense, right? And then there's the phase where you're like, okay, now how do I control what this looks like? That's kind of later on. Although you gotta, if you want to draw something totally unique, like let's say the Hulk doing a balancing act on a ball, well, that requires some creativity and artistic skills. However, you still gotta block it out. You gotta follow the step by steps. Okay, break it down into simple forms. Like here's the ball, and let's make the feet uh, reasonable size in the right proportions. Okay, and again, this is not going to be the prettiest picture because I'm still learning myself. I just realized I'm not going to have room to draw this, but you get what I'm saying. Again, guys, if you come here to watch a master at art, then you came to the wrong place. I am no master at art, and you're probably wondering why are you trying to teach art then if you're not a master at art? Uh, I'm not. I'm just giving you for. I am, but I'm not. Just I'm pretty much. Yeah, I'm giving you some tips and pointers, but as far as I can tell, I'm just giving you information based on how I see things. So when I see this, I try to analyze it and summarize it. You know, doesn't mean I'm going to be automatically good at what the thing is trying to teach me, but I can analyze what I read and summarize it into words that people can understand. I'm good at that. So I guess you can say I'm good at teaching, just not good at drawing. But like I understand the fundamentals, I understand the step by steps, but again, art is also a sport in a way to where it takes a lot of muscle, it takes a lot of skill, it takes a lot of repetition and practice. And once you get all that out of the way, the practices, you are able to learn better and faster drawing from what I've learned. So I guess you can say this is more opinion based. This is more like take what I say with a grain of salt. This is how I understand things. But if you say I'm wrong, that's great. Prove me wrong. Get us actual facts and information. If I'm somehow the worst teacher of art ever, okay, good. Good. That is this show isn't about like you coming here to learn art. It is, well, even though I tell you this is like a group study or we learn art together, it's like, well, first of all, the point of this channel, like I said in previous streams, is to show you if I can learn how to draw, then anyone can learn how to draw. And I'm just showing you my journey as far as and give you my perspective how someone who drew something like this like a few months ago. Let me find it. Yeah. You can tell this is a crappy drawing. Anyone can tell you this is a crappy drawing. Like I know some people are trying to be nice. It's not the worst thing I've seen, but still, like, would you sell this as a comic book? No. Like, would you even sell this as the pencils turn this in as the penciling in the comic book. No, because the forms are off, the proportions are off, the perspective, the um was it foreshortening's off, you know, and the shading too could use some work. I mean, I did decent here and a little at the cloak there, but other than that, like it needs work. It just needs work. Pretty much, I'm telling you, this is a bad drawing. If I can go from this to something like a like what who's the best? Well, I guess there isn't a best artist, but let's say something like Jim Lee or Alex Ross. Not to confuse with Bob Ross. He's a painter. I'm trying to learn drawing, although I need to learn painting too. So, um, painting could help me a lot, but still. Um, but you get my point. All those great professional artists out there. If I can get from this to them, then anyone can learn how to draw if they put in the right steps, the right time. And this shows, if you want to watch this show, just me fumbling around and just hopefully I can figure things out. That's entertaining. So that's good. As long as you get something out of it, you know. And again, don't take it's I'm like a student trying to give his or her thoughts on the assignment. Like let's say we're going to school together. I'm a fellow student like you. And this is how I'm everything that I said in these previous streams. I'm just telling you how I see things, how I understand it, and hopefully it helps you understand as well if you need to understand something. But if I get something wrong, then that's where this is your job to correct me. And if you don't, it probably means, well, you didn't know, which I won't hold against you. If you didn't know, you didn't know. Or just if you didn't correct me, but you knew, then you're not letting us reach our full potential. So that's all I wanted to share. I think it's time for the announcement, guys. The announcement is, well, I got bad news. I'm not sure if I can keep doing this. Even though I was going on a rant and like, oh, this is great. If you want to see me learn and fumble around, that's great. But maybe I would do this less, at least less. And I'm trying to think about ways to. So let me be honest with you. Now you're probably wondering, well, is he going to cancel from zero to hero or not? Or let me get to that. I'm not quitting. I'm changing tactics because I'm realizing. So the main point of this channel is to promote something. I'm here to actually get, more views on something that I've been wanting to work on. And I can't just be doing something hoping that viewers will drop by. If I just draw willy-nilly and get no traction, no views, then something has to change. I need to do something to where I can get more eyes what the purpose of this channel is. So I decided to maybe not remove from zero to hero, but maybe I can move it to another channel. So for here on out, okay, I decided here on out from zero to hero will no longer be, and it will probably be called something else because I don't know how YouTube works and whether it's copyright or even though it's from me, I don't know if I can sue myself or I don't know. I don't know how it works, but pretty much, I'm going to do more draw streams. I'm going to keep doing what I do here. It probably just won't be called From Zero to Hero. It'll just be called something else. New thumbnail, hopefully. And so, pretty much, I got a new channel. It's going to be called Nick of Time, and I shall post it. Here, let me go to YouTube on this channel. And I decided to make the our Luniverse channel is not going away though. Even though the From Zero to Hero is going away from our Luniverse. So this is the channel I just created. It's called The Nick of Time. So let me get this straight. Let me lay it out. This channel, I learned, shouldn't be a channel for where I just hang out, just do what I want. Okay, it just seems unprofessional. And I realize I gotta be more professional with this site, this channel. I mean, I want to be the well, I shouldn't say that. I want to be big. I want to be professional with this channel. What is this channel for then, you may ask? I want to hopefully, the reason why I'm learning art is to make a comic book. I really want to make a comic book. I got this great idea, and it's called Eagle. All right, and it's pretty much a spy thriller. I won't spoil more than that. It's called Eagle. It's a spy thriller, kind of a superhero thing mixed in together. So, a spy thriller meets superhero story comic book called Eagle. Okay. That's all you're going to get. This channel should be only for promotions of said stories, and I can't give you more than just a pitch. All I got is a pitch. I've written the script of the story. I just need someone to do the art. And I think I'm getting close to the point of pulling the trigger of finding an artist, and not just finding them, hiring them to do the story. So for now on, this channel is only going to be for promotion and professional, like trailers. Like, what does Marvel have on their channel? Is it just okay? If Stanley was alive today, would he make the Marvel channel about him taking a salad and eating it, doing his normal day activities? No, he wouldn't. It's about how he can promote Marvel and trailers and commercials. And I know Marvel isn't in the best spot right now. I realize that. However, we still got to be professional about this. Sorry, my brain is like very foggy. Like, I can spitball like off camera and pretend I'm on camera, but when I'm actually on camera, when I'm actually on the spot, I'm like, oh man, I'm scatterbrained. It's like, I know I can get used to it, but there is a saying, like, the difference between the stands and the stadium, talking about sports, is like the difference between the skies and the earth. Like, you may pretend to be on stage or be in front of a crowd all you want, but it's like night and day. Like, until you either like until it actually happens to you, you do not know what it's like to perform in front of a crowd. But what do I know? I just got 0 views on this stream right now. And who knows, maybe someone else can watch it and lay it down when this is done recording. So yeah, I want to make a comic book. I want this channel for that comic book. I want any story that I want to make, any story that I produce or help promote those stories. That's what this channel is for, or gonna be for now on. For now on, it's going to be for promotion only of stories I create under the Our Luniverse logo or title or whatever you call it. Now, if you want to see me hang out or just kicking around or just that's going to be where this other channels come in. This other channel comes in. It's called Nick of Time. And if I want to rant, if I want to pitch, if I just want to tell you what I'm thinking, how I feel, or or and like I promise, once a week I'll stream a draw stream, and I'll just learn how to draw by myself if I have to, or talk to you guys. You can drop in if you want, but I'll still be streaming once a week. But for now on, I'm going to be posting videos more on the other channel, Nick of Time. Nick of Time, I'm going to pump out videos like crazy because I got a mom that's in marketing of a business, and she knows, and she keeps telling me that you're not going to get enough views. You're just hoping if you just post one video a week and hoping that you're going to get some views. You need to realize that, and I get it. I used to brush it off like, okay, I'm just gonna do my thing and hope for the best. I did not like the word she used, and that was realistic. But I come to realize you do gotta learn how some things work in order to make them work. If you don't know how they work, you will not make that thing. If you don't know how to make something work, that something cannot work for you. Oftentimes, it will work against you because you do not know how to make it work or you don't know how it works. That's the purpose of wisdom and knowledge. And you got to make things. So, pretty much, I am trying to make things work for me and my dream, my goal by making the second channel. So, I just gave a long winded, dead horse beaten explanation that, yeah, I got another channel. That one's going to be for hanging out. That one's going to be for getting to know me or who I am, or just chilling, coming up with different video ideas, like a traditional YouTube channel. And here, I'm only going to promote this channel, Our Luniverse. So, Nick of Time, a traditional YouTube channel about me. Well, not just about me, but like what I do or what I'm doing, personal stuff. And Our Luniverse channel will be only for promotion of my business, pretty much. Business purposes only. So, yeah. And I would love it if one of you guys in the comments help me to search up like artists because that's the biggest struggle I had for like I've been wanting to tell like the story for like the past 10 years by been trying to make a story happen for the past 15 years. Ever since I was 10, I was trying to make a superhero story or some sort of comic book. Or it doesn't have to be a comic book. It can be an animation, it can be a movie even. as long as it gets told in a visual format. So let me show you something more pleasing than just this drawing. I'm sorry you keep staring at this. This is some of my best work, actually. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I got this there, and it looks like a sperm. No, I just leave it. Okay, so yeah, I making a new channel. That's where I'm going to post personal stuff. Not personal stuff, but like videos on whatever I want, hobbies, what I'm doing, talks, rants, hangouts, even. And on our Luniverse, that's where it's all business. Okay, so yeah, if you, oh yeah, I was talking about like, ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to make a comic book or some sort of way of telling my stories. And the biggest holdback was I had no confidence in art for comic books. I had no production or money for movies or TV shows. Cartoon and animations, forget it. I did not have the skills back then. But who knows? But I will say this right now. I have the money, and all I need to do is you guys, and I if you guys don't find me an artist, it's okay. I think I'm finding someone. All I have to do is just pull the trigger. I think I found someone. I just need to pull the trigger. But if you guys got any suggestions on, hey, or you're an artist yourself, like, hey, I like this idea of this spy thriller superhero comic. I'm willing to make it happen. Just tell me, post your socials and some of your work down in the comments. Well, not your work, but like the links to your socials that will show me your work in the comments, and I'll scroll through. But if I don't see or hear anything about any artists that are willing to volunteer, or any volunteering artist that just has the art style that I'm not looking for, like if no artists in the comments were suggested or have the style that I'm looking for, I'm just going to pull the trigger on the one that I think I found. So, and I know this sounds a bit of a drag, but I do got to make some changes. When you're in this point in life, you start to think about what you're going to do with it. What you're going to do with your life. And I'm at that point. I got to realize if I don't get this going, I'm going to waste my 20s, my 30s doing nothing. And I will not accept that. So if you're an artist or know an artist, please give me your or their social in the comments. I'll be checking the comments for like 2 weeks. And if nothing comes up to that meets my requirement, then I'll pull the trigger on the one that I got my eyes on. Rest assured, the story will come. I'm not going to give a date because I don't know. I don't know how long the process is. All I know is the writing portion. I've been studying the writing portion, how to write a good story. But you don't know if it's a good story unless you read it. So, and the only way for you to read it, again, is if I find someone, or I mean, hire someone. I did find someone. But anyhow, you get what I'm saying. And I think that's going to do it for me, guys. please hit that like, hit the subscribe. You're probably not going to see anything posted on here anytime soon. But if you want to see more of me, check out me on the Nick of Time, where I can post anything that about me, maybe vlogs, maybe. And if you want to keep watching me stumble or flop around trying to figure out art, I'll keep doing that on Saturdays, but it'll be no longer on this channel. It'll be on the Nick of Time channel. Okay. Please hit the subscribe, the like, support the channel and both channels. And I'll see you guys next time.